Hello everybody, it's me, back with another tier list. I just want to say, you know, I kind of like doing tier lists. They, I really want to do like reviews and stuff of like media that I enjoy, but when you do a review, I think people expect some amount of subjectivity, some expert testimony, that kind of thing. And usually for a good review, you have to have some kind of theme, some thesis statement, something like that. When really all I want to do is give my opinion on stuff that I like generally, and talk about why I like it. And tier lists are kind of a good excuse to do that, just that. So today I've got the Mount and Blade warband factions. I'm going to do a tier list of these. So, we're going to go from left to right like usual. The first one up is the Kurgit. The Kurgit Khanate, I think is what they call themselves. Um, I gotta be honest, I don't hate the Kurgits, but I find the horse archers to be just slightly underwhelming in Warband. And also, that's kind of really the only play style you can go. You can kind of go light cav, but I mean, that's really it. Like, Kurgits aren't great at much else. And I'm not a big fan of starting in the Kurgit area. I don't know. I'm gonna put them at, mm, maybe at C. That might change. That might change. I'll have to think about it. Next up is the Nords. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna put the Nords in B. They're kind of a classic. Some of their units were really overpowered. Uh, but honestly, I don't play the Nords very much. I don't mess with the Nords very much. They're just, I don't know. They're okay. Uh, I don't get excited when I see them in like a multiplayer match, but I'll play them. They're okay. Uh, Lore wise, I mean, I don't think their lore is extraordinarily cool. They're basically just Vikings, and hey, they got given some land, and now they're here. They're from a foreign place. I don't know. Now, next up is the Rodox, and I gotta put them in A. I love the Brodox. They're very cool. I start as the Brodox quite a bit. They have a very nice. There's a castle that's kind of off by itself, not really close to any other cities or castles or settlements. That's right between the Rodox and the Serenades, and they almost always go to war with each other. And that's a great like just immediate, if you're looking to create your own faction, start your own kingdom early, that's the place I normally go because it's probably going to switch hands between them a couple times. Uh, and it probably won't be garrisoned by very many troops, and armies generally don't go right next to it. Even though it's between the Saracens and the Rodox, it's just off by itself. So I think it's a pretty cool settlement. I like the Rodox. I like their units. Um, Kind of a more emphasis on crossbows and the shield wall. I think is cool. I like how they're kind of inspired by like the medieval Spanish and Italians, and I mean they got the mountain people vibe going on, which is always really cool. Um, I like the color green quite a bit. It's my favorite color, and that's their color. Rodox are cool. Rodox are pretty cool. Uh, I'm not a big fan of two-hander weapons, and the Rodox do use two-handers sometimes. They're kind of cheap in multiplayer. you're kind of scum if you use a two-handed weapon. That's all I'm gonna say. Next up is the serenades. I'm gonna put them just after the Kurgits. They could even maybe go down in D. Uh, I don't know. I just never really got playing as the serenades. I think they're fine in multiplayer, but I'm not totally sure what they're supposed to be good at. I guess cavalry to an extent, maybe light cavalry, but I don't know. They seemed more well-rounded as a faction, and that kind of makes them boring to me. I'm also not big on like the Arabian influence. I don't know. I kind of thought it was dumb how, I mean, Calradia's climate like changes like it does. I don't know. And I mean, it was only made like that to include the serenades. Um, so I don't know. I don't hate them. They're okay. I've started in the serenade area before a couple times. Um, I think their pretender is pretty cool. I think I played a campaign where I restored their pretender. I think it's a woman, and I think I restored her as pretender or as queen, I guess, sultana. Uh, yeah, serenades aren't my favorite, but they're whatever. But I'm putting them in D, I think. Um, Swathians. Actually, we'll move the serenades up. I'm gonna put Swathians just above the serenades. Swathians are okay. Um, they got more of a thing going on than the serenades, but they are still kind of a very well-rounded uh, faction, and at the same time they have a lot of two-hander weaponry. They use it a lot. I don't know. They're kind of a pain, but also I'm not sure. Uh, their stylization is whatever, really. That kind of medieval England, France kind of thing going on. I don't know. I just don't like Swathians very much. They're always a pain in like my campaigns. Uh, in multiplayer, like I said, they have easily available two-handers like Bardishas and stuff, and they'll fucking rape you. Uh, and it's a pain. They're they're low tier. Next up, we got, of course, number one faction, understandably, the Vaegrs. Love the Vaegrs. Uh, very cool faction. Love the archers, you know. Uh, love the Russian Eastern European theme stylization, very cool. Um, I like their starting position, even though it seems like the AI Vaegrs will always lose to Nords and Kurgits. I very rarely see the Vaegrs expand out a whole lot. Um, I've got a personal history with the Vaegrs I won't get into, but me and some of my friends all do have a personal history with the Vaegrs. I see the Vaegrs as a faction in a multiplayer game, and I'm, I'm rip roaring and ready to go. I'm excited. Um, what else do I have to say about the Vaegrs? They're cool. I like the Vaegrs. That's pretty much it. I really like them, so they're in the S tier. So yeah, this is my warband faction tier list. Vaegrs in the S tier, Rhodoks in the A tier, Nords in the B tier, Kurgits in C or top of C tier, Swathians second place in C tier, and Kurgits top of C tier, Swathians second place in C tier, Serenades last in C tier. But overall, I do kind of like all of them, but Vaegrs on top, of course, followed by Rhodoks. Really, Nords could maybe go down in C tier. I don't like them all that much more. But yeah, that's it. Bye.